The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's get to Tom in Pittsburgh. Hey, Tom, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, I want to tell you that listening to you, Steve, and also Larry turned my laptop into a money machine.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing, man. How long have you been listening?
Well, you know what? I lived in Tampa.
Okay.
Yeah, I started listening to you back in 2000. That's when I first found you. I've been listening ever since.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, listen, man, we really appreciate you being out there.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. Well, 5 days a week, we go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Cultivate wisdom. You don't need to accumulate knowledge to become wise. Anyone can become wise. When you can become wise, you respect your body, you respect your mind, and you respect your soul. When you become wise, your life is controlled by your heart, not your head. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow up 140, NASDAQ up 40, S&P's up 15, gold contract down $8.10, trading at $1,822 an ounce. Silver down 43 cents at $40.75 an ounce. Platinum flat at $1,814 an ounce. Copper got whacked again, down 6 pennies at $3.91 a pound. Light sweet crude off $1.65, trading out at $88.55. Bonds up 12 ticks at 140.18. Dollar index down 10 ticks at 76.89. Euro is trading at 137, and the yen is down 32, trading at 76.64. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do we have here? Okay. S&P gets up to 1202. Now, what you have here, folks, is this. We close out at 1188. The S&P did 1 billion shares. You're going into the swing point. The bottom of the swing point is 1209. The top's 1230. We did that with 1 billion versus the 30th of August had 1 billion. The 31st had 1.2. The first had 1 billion. So you can see the S&Ps, you get in there with 1 billion versus 1.2. Not enough juice. Dow Industrials. We go over to the Dow. What you have inside the Dow is this. Dow gets to a price point of 11,386. Gives up 140 points of that into the close. Still up 140 bucks, but gives up some big numbers. The bottom of the 30th is 11,528. We made it to 11,386. Not enough juice to get up and into that level. Now, here's the divergence. You go over to the NASDAQ Composite. And this is what you have. NASDAQ Composite closed out at 2572. We got to 2600. So check this out. So the NASDAQ Composite is up 40 points, which is big dollars, right? But we were up 65. The composite itself, folks, got to 2600. Now, the bottom of the 31st, which is the swing point, the top of that is 2611. The bottom is 2557. We did that on the composite with 2.3 billion shares. What that's saying is that the composite's going to be right back topside. The reason being is that 2.3 billion is going into 1.8 billion, going into 2 billion, and going to 1.7 billion. Deviance, really good deviance out here, folks. So that went into the swing point and did it with volume. Now, what have we been keying off of? We've been keying off the SMHs. If you remember, the SMHs, bottom line, has been, still are, the strongest indices, strongest sector inside the market. What does the SMHs do today? Boom, topside, big time too. SMHs did 24 million shares, taking out your swing point of 13 million shares, taking out your swing point of 18 million shares, closing at $30.32 over all those swing points. Now, what that sets up, folks, okay, is the SMHs want to run higher. As the SMHs run higher, of course, what ends up happening? The NASDAQ 100, okay, will make a move. Intel and Texas Instruments are the largest weightings inside the SMHs. So what did Intel do out here today? Intel was up 35 cents, 57 million shares traded. We're at 21.15. Took out that swing point, also with volume. Texas Instruments, TXN. We go over and take a look at Texas Instruments. That closed up 62 cents. The swing is $27.80. We make it to 27.62. You did 18 million shares, and the swing actually has 11 million, but a couple of days prior to that, you're dealing with basically 28 million. So we still want more volume inside the Texas Instruments. I suspect we're going to get it. Now let's put it all together. Let's go to the 3 Qs. You take a look at the 3 Qs, what you have is that you did 78 million shares. You came into the swing point, which only had 60 million. You got over the swing point, but you closed underneath it. What happens, folks, is this. If you get over the swing point, you close underneath it, and you have higher volume, that's short-term bearish, longer-term bullish. So bottom line is that we're going to be back up to that level. Now, that is the swing point generated from the 31st of August. That's the short-term deal. Now, what it's also going into, and this is the bearish part, is that we were coming also into 214 million. So you can see it wants to get over the swing point, wants to go a little bit higher. That's the deviant part of it. The harmony inside the marketplace right now, let's go over to the small caps. I'm going to lay all this together. So the small caps, we did 70 million, 73 million. You're going against a swing point that only had 70. What I suspect you're going to more than likely see is this, is that the NASDAQ 100 looks that it will drag the S&P, the Dow, and the small caps up to that swing point. They don't necessarily have to get over the swing point. And the swing point I'm talking about is the 31st of August. And then what I expect you're going to see is you're going to see that baby give it up and give it up in a big way. Because, we'll see what the NASDAQ does. Because the NASDAQ is actually crucial as to what's going on here. Because the NASDAQ, the SMHs got over the swing with volume. NASDAQ did the same thing. NASDAQ didn't hold. That's saying that those indices, well, that sector in that indice wants to go higher. Let's go over and take a look at the dollar index out here. What we have with the dollar index, folks, is this. She pulls back with 40,000 contracts. That 40,000 contracts is going into 56,000 contracts. She is setting up the B to a C of an ABC structure on the way up. She's setting up a big move, folks. You know, the A point on this is down at 73.50. The B move is up at 77.80. So it's a big number. We go take a look at the bond market, what we have inside bonds out here. The bond market came back with 36,000 contracts today, 396,000 contracts. Did reject lower volume. But what you had is that you got some volume coming out of it at the 139.36. That basically looks to me like it's setting up that, you know what, this does want to get back into the 136 area. And when you put that all together, well, let's go to the gold next. When we take a look at gold, what you had with gold is this. Gold had a price spread out here today from 1811 to 1848. We did 157,000 contracts, and that's small numbers, folks. That is staying in the consolidation. You know, it does want to make its way down to this 1777. That is the highs of the low, you know, and very well can break it. Each and every time that you're coming down, we have high volume lows in this. So the first test will be at the 1793 area. Yesterday got to 1794. 1793 wants to be tested. The 1777 wants to be tested. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. We had Honeywell up 84 cents. Big Blue is up 381. You had Boeing up 18. Caterpillar was up 43. Oxy was up 238. Let's go to the XLE, the energy select and see what's going on there? That's kind of interesting because it was only up 81 cents. That means that's staying in a consolidation. That had no juice at all. That should have had a lot more juice. Bottom line is that was up on 25 million going into 35 million. We go over to the XLF, and the XLF can't get out of its way. The XLF was up 15 cents, $12.60, and that's in the consolidation. Bank of America, BAC, just piles on top of piles. They just can't get out of their own way. What you had with BAC today, this is a lot of money for them, but BAC, what you did have happen today is that, these whistleblower suits are always problems for large companies. There's no, I guess, any type of company, it's a problem. But the bottom line is it's amazing. So they had a whistleblower suit. This has been going on for a few years. Bottom line is that the appeals court today said the bottom line is that they owe this person $930,000, and they got to reinstate the person. And what it was all about, this is the court stating this, is that once this person went to his supervisors at Countrywide telling them the bottom line is that, they have huge problems, fraudulent problems inside their loans. They basically harassed the person out of the company, So you can see the context, folks, that the way that we got in this financial debacle, is basically was fraud all over the place. There's just, it was just rampant. It was rampant everywhere. It was, let me get my money now and let me get out. And, it's pretty amazing because the big dogs, folks, got out. There's no doubt about it. You can take Fannie Mae, you can take Freddie Mac, you can take Countrywide, you can take, it must be amazing. If the guy from Enron, not the poor guy that died, but the other guy that's in jail right now, he must be pulling his hair out, because the bottom line is that he must be saying, I got chicken feed compared to what the rest of these people took. Because Skilling, thank you, Jeff Skilling, he's got to be pulling his hair out. Because the bottom line is that it is chicken feed what he got versus what happened in the banking system. It's just absolutely amazing. Some of the high-volume stocks we had out here, you had Citigroup up 34 cents. ExxonMobil was up 99. Applied Micro, was up 22. Advanced Micro was up 22. Well, both the same, 22 cents. Intel was the big mover out here. That was a good mover out here today. General Electric was up 38 cents. Let's go take a look at GE and see what GE's doing out here. So GE is coming into a swing. Now, someone's still selling GE. The lows out there are 1482. It gets to 1579 today, and you know what? As soon as they got up and even close to the swing point, they were selling it. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We're coming right back. We had the Dow Industrials close up 140, Nasdaq up 40, S&P's up 15, gold down 760, silver up 44 cents. We're going to be right back.